to plan and me say too. Sister Nancy in a transport connection. A lot of God me a go tell it to the nation.
Cause all the diamonds in the world and the money in the world that can't buy the DJ love.
Just freestyle, bam bam. Just like that. I didn't write it.
Man, that must feel good, like make something so timeless.
Of course.
How does a woman who helped build the foundation of modern music end up shut out of the fortune her own voice created?
After the Reebok commercial, I seek legal advices and rush at them and they settled. They didn't, after 32 years I did the song, they didn't give me the money for 32 years without, and I didn't collect anything from it, but they give me 10 years back and forward.
That's Sister Nancy's reality. The pioneer who dominated every stage, broke every rule, and watched Jay-Z, Kanye, and Beyonce build empires using her voice, while she counted other people's money at a New Jersey bank just to survive.
I work here, but I do a lot of work. I used to work in the bank, an accountant, 15 years, and I retired in 2016 because I have so much shows, I have so much work to do.
But when she finally discovered what they'd done, the revenge was biblical. Now listen, before we go any further, there are two secrets in this story you need to hear. First, there's a reason Bam Bam wasn't even played in Jamaica when it dropped. And when Sister Nancy finally heard it years later in America, she couldn't believe her ears.
I don't think you see the first time I performed. You have never seen it.
Not the first time, but seeing early on.
You mean that was Sting? That was by 1990. That was that before I become a Rastafarian dreadlock. Wear my dreadlocks. That's a long time.
Second, the way she got her royalties back involves her daughter watching TV, a Reebok commercial, and a lawsuit that almost didn't happen.
After 2013-14, after they put it on that Reebok commercial, after the Reebok commercial, I seek legal advices and rush at them.
This is too much. This is too much. He said you should own the whole thing after so many years. I tell him I don't want the whole thing. I just want what is rightful mine.
The twist coming halfway through this story? You're absolutely not ready. On January 2nd, 1962, Kingston, Jamaica witnessed the birth of a baby girl who would change music forever. 15 siblings, one tiny house, one very strict father. Offlyn Russell enters a world that doesn't want her to be loud. Stay home, be quiet, promote Christian values. Her father's a pastor. Her mother runs a church out of their house. 2 bedrooms for 15 kids. The rest, church space. This is not a household where rebellion is tolerated.
I born at a home that's like 2 bedrooms and the rest of the house is church. My father and mother always have a church. We are like Christian-minded people, Rastafarians, and God-fearing.
But here's the thing about Offlyn Russell. She was born different. Her older brother, Robert, he's already making noise on the streets, calling himself Brigadier Jerry, DJing on sound systems, breaking rules, and little Offlyn is watching everything. By her mid-teens, something snaps. The conservative rules, suffocating. The expectations, unbearable. She starts running away from home for months at a time, following DJ Junior Chalice around Jamaica, studying, learning, waiting for her moment. But here's where it gets interesting. St. Thomas becomes the turning point. She's 15 years old. Junior Chalice finally hands her the mic. She performs, and something happens inside her that never goes away. Me never nervous again after that, she'd say years later. At 16, she decided, this is my life now. But we'll get to why that decision almost destroyed her relationship with her family later. Because what happens next changes everything.
My mother and father did not approve, but as I was born different and grow different from my brothers and sisters. We call it a roughneck. We grow like that.
Here's what nobody tells you about Sister Nancy breaking into dancehall. She wasn't just a woman in a male space. She was the only woman. Period. The lone female voice surrounded by dozens of men who didn't think she belonged. Some booed her off stage. Some told her to put the mic down. Some said she'd never make it. But Brigadier Jerry stood beside her, always.
Yeah, because as I said, when I started, and sometimes I go places, people boo me sometimes and tell me to put the mic down and all kind of thing. But, it never discouraged me. As I say, I have my brother beside me still. And I said, I go through, but I've been doing this since 1976. When it was just man-dominated. Just like now, it's mostly men, and I was the lone female among many men, including my brother who get me started. That's Brigadier Jerry. He was the one who he was motivated by him.
By 1976, she started DJing on sound systems for real. 12 Tribes of Israel, Jahalov Music, Stereophonic with General Echo for 3 years straight, learning, building, growing stronger. But here's the twist. She was doing all of this for free. We'll get to why that matters in a minute, because 1980 just walked through the door. Producer Winston Riley spots something in her, takes her into the studio. Her first single drops, Papa Dean.
He took me to Mr. Riley, so I did those songs back in those days. But people think 1-2 is my first song. song. No, Papa Dean was my first song in 1979.
But nobody, not Winston Riley, not Brigadier Jerry, not even Sister Nancy herself, expected what would come next. The year 1982 explodes with possibilities. Sister Nancy is recording like crazy, performing everywhere, making history without even knowing it. She becomes the first female DJ ever to perform at Reggae Sunsplash, the first female Jamaican DJ to tour internationally.
Because I'm the first one who started this. I'm the one who took it internationally. I'm the one who toured first, Sunsplash. I'm the first woman DJ who do all of them things.
Her debut album 1-2 drops. Singles start hitting. Money Can't Buy Me Love.
Money can't buy my love.
Transport Connection.
Transport connection. Sister Nancy in a transport connection.
A collaboration with Yellow Man, Ja Mekas for a Purpose. But here's where everything changes. Track number 10 out of 11 songs. Almost an afterthought. Bam Bam. And here's the secret nobody talks about.
I'll be truthful, when I living in Jamaica, I never hear Bam Bam played there. The tune that I had played there was 1-2. 1-2 and Transport Connection.
But we'll get to why that becomes the most important detail of her entire life. Because right now, things are about to get very complicated. The Jah Love Music sound system goes international. Sister Nancy and Brigadier Jerry debut in the UK at Brixton Town Hall, London in 1982. She's working with producer Henry Junjo Laws. A No Any Man Can Test Sister Nancy, Bang Belly. Touring, performing, living the dream. But here's the nightmare hiding underneath. The money isn't coming.
You know, because at the time that I was young, I just wanted my voice on the radio, that's all. Everybody wanted to hear the voice on the radio. So if a producer approach you and remember, we don't get paid for these things.
But here's the twist. Sister Nancy's voice was already mattering. She just didn't know it yet. The years roll by. Late 80s, early 90s. Sister Nancy keeps performing occasionally, but something's shifting. The music industry is changing. Dancehall is evolving, and Sister Nancy's exhausted. 14 years after 1-2 dropped, she makes a decision that changes everything. In 1996, Sister Nancy left Jamaica, migrates to New Jersey, and she gets a job, a 9-to-5 job, an accountant, at a bank. For 15 years, she works that job, processing transactions, crunching numbers, living a quiet, ordinary life.
Trust me, it wasn't easy living, working a 9-to-5 job, and people may think that because I was an accountant working in a bank and make all this money. No, I ain't make no damn money there.
Music, that's the past. She'll perform every now and then at small shows, but mostly she's focused on survival.
I work in the bank for 16 years, and I know that wasn't what I was supposed to do because I've been doing music since I was 15 years old. But it was something that I had to do at the time coming to a different country.
In interviews, she says she wants to give other female artists a chance. But we'll get to the real reason she stopped making music later, because it's not what you think. But here's what Sister Nancy doesn't know while she's working at that bank. Bam Bam is spreading like wildfire everywhere. The year 1998 brought Hype Williams' film Belly.
Bam bam, bam bam, bilang, bam bam bam, eh.
There it is. Bam Bam, in one of the most legendary scenes in hip-hop cinema. Sister Nancy is at home in New Jersey watching HBO. Suddenly, her daughter shouts something.
Nobody called me for Belly. I was just home watching TV, HBO, and that's where I saw it. So I recorded it on a VCR. That's how I saw Belly. It's in that movie.
But we'll get to what happened next in a minute. First, you need to understand what Winston Riley did. Remember Winston Riley, the producer who gave Sister Nancy her first shot? He listed the Bam Bam copyright under his name and someone called Nancy White. Nancy White, not Offlin Russell, not Sister Nancy, a name that didn't exist. He stole her identity on the copyright, kept all the royalties for years, and Sister Nancy had no idea.
They didn't even have my name on there. The person that he had on there was Techniques Winston Riley and Nancy White, not me.
Sister Nancy calls Winston Riley after seeing Bam Bam in Belly. He tells her everything is all right, everything is fine. He's handling it. She believes him. Big mistake. Because while she's believing him, something massive is happening. Crisscross samples Bam Bam. Rihanna uses it in live performances. It shows up in skateboard videos, TV commercials, films. By the time 2014 rolls around, it's been sampled over 80 times. And Sister Nancy? She stopped counting.
When the commercial with the Reebok come out, I still didn't get anything. But it's when Reebok came out now, I said I have to get serious, and that's when I decided to take them to court.
Kanye West prepared Famous for his 2016 album using Bam Bam. Jay-Z sampled Bam Bam in 2017. featuring Damian Marley. But here's what makes Jay-Z's sample different from all the others.
He didn't go behind my back. He called up Gravy and they talk and we went. And that's the best thing. That's the best way to do it. At least I'm a part of it. And he was the right one who did it. So that's my best sample right there.
He called her personally, brought her to Jamaica, made her part of the process. And when Sister Nancy finally met Jay-Z in the studio, what she told him became legendary. She walked in barefoot, straight from her yard, no shoes, no fear. And she looked at one of the biggest rappers in the world and said something that left everyone speechless.
When I went to the studio with him, I didn't wear no shoes. I was barefoot. I just leave out of my yard and straight to the studio. I tell him, my man is just a man. You're a man. You look for me. I didn't look for you. So I'm more important than you.
But here's the twist that makes this even more powerful.
So everybody who uses it, it pleases me. At least, it keeps me alive. And I'm happy about that. Okay. And she's not the only one. And I love her. And her husband told me that's her best song.
Everyone is getting rich. Everyone except Sister Nancy. In another instant, in 2014, while she was still processing other people's money, everything explodes. Sister Nancy is sitting in her New Jersey living room. Her daughter is watching TV. Suddenly, Mommy, look here! A Reebok commercial playing Bam Bam right there. National television. Sister Nancy stares at the screen. Something inside her breaks. 32 years since she recorded that song, and she's never seen a single dollar.
It was okay with me because, after realizing that I wasn't getting anything for 32 years, I was just, and trust me, it wasn't easy.
And here's where it gets interesting. The company settled out of court fast. They didn't want a trial because they knew they'd lose everything. The settlement? 50% ownership of Bam Bam, all future royalties, 10 years of back royalties. Not the full 32 years she deserved, but something. Finally something.
After 32 years I did the song. They didn't give me the money for 32 years without, and I didn't collect anything from it, but they give me 10 years back and forward. So now I have 50% rights.
I wasn't getting anything anyway, she'd say. So now if they're going to use it, I'm going to get 50%. But here's what she said about the lawyers who wanted her to take everything.
This is too much. They say you should own the whole thing after so many years. I tell him I don't want the whole thing. I just want what is rightful mine.
She didn't want to destroy Winston Riley's estate, even after everything, even after 32 years of theft, because that's who Sister Nancy is. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The year 2016 marks Sister Nancy's liberation. She walks into that bank for the last time. After 15 years of counting other people's money, she finally has her own.
Man, I was on the computer. And I see, because I give them all my information and everything. I was on the computer. I have a zero balance. Think about $750 balance. I hold the bank $750. And I see this. I said, what the hell? I said, no. But it finished that same day.
She quits, retires from accounting, and goes back to music full time. But here's the hilarious part about working at that bank. Rebel Salute 2017 in Jamaica, Brooklyn Bowl in New York on May 25th, 2017. Tours across London, Mexico, Florida, and California. But we'll get to her biggest victory later. Because first, you need to understand what happened to her legacy. The Observer called Sister Nancy a role model for an entire generation. Lady Saw, Sister Carol, Mucka Diamond, Lady G, Shelly Thunder, Carla Marshall. She opened the door, kicked it down actually. But here's what she thinks about the current generation.
100% culture DJ, and I can't change that for love nor money. I don't dilute, I don't mix, and I don't blend culture, it's straight culture. The woman them know is what they see going on, that's what they follow.
And when it comes to current artists like Spice reaching out to her,
that started this Bomboclad Foundation. Who no never see her yet? Put up your hand in the air. Clear the way original. You know one thing and I'm seeing it there.
But here's the moment that proves she's still got it. At 63 years old, Sister Nancy performs like she's 20.
I perform I cry, but people don't know. They think it's sweat. But when I perform I cry to see how people react to me. And, after all these years.
And here's where everything comes full circle. August 2025 brings Armageddon, Sister Nancy's first full-length album in over 20 years. But that's not the biggest moment. In 2025, her 1982 debut album, 1-2, enters the Billboard Reggae Albums chart for the first time ever. It reaches number 3. She becomes the only woman on the Billboard Year-End Reggae Albums Artist chart, number 9. 43 years after releasing the album, it finally gets its moment. But here's the victory that matters most. Bam Bam, the Sister Nancy story, a documentary about her life, premieres at Tribeca Film Festival. Sold-out screenings, standing ovations, people watching it multiple times. The documentary is set for wide release in 2026. And Sister Nancy? She moved from Paterson, New Jersey to North Carolina to be closer to her daughter. She's touring constantly, performing internationally, living the career she should have had 40 years ago. Bam Bam is now in James Bond films, No Time to Die in 2021, Netflix series Ozark, countless commercials. Jay-Z gave permission for his footage to be used in her documentary. Beyoncé calls Bam Bam her favorite track, listens to it every day. The song Jamaica Ignored in 1982 is now considered one of the greatest reggae tracks ever made, BBC, a well-known reggae anthem. The Observer, a classic. And here's what Sister Nancy thinks about all of it now.
You know what? I just say I cannot complain. I'm just grateful, appreciative of everything. I know it, and I know it was going to happen. It was just time.
At 63, Sister Nancy is still breaking barriers, still performing, still fighting. Her story became a case study for artists, especially women in dancehall, teaching them to fight for their intellectual property. If it's mine, I am going to fight for it. While her exact net worth isn't public, she's earned income from music sales, performances, and licensing. Her wealth reflects a legendary career rather than specific numbers. But the real wealth, the impact, from a rebellious teenager running away from a conservative home, to the first female dancehall DJ at Reggae Sunsplash, to a bank accountant fighting for stolen royalties, Sister Nancy's journey proves what the industry doesn't want you to know. They'll silence you, steal from you, make you believe you don't deserve what's yours. But if you fight back, if you refuse to stay quiet, you can win. Sister Nancy didn't just create Bam Bam. She became a movement, a revolution, a reminder that your voice matters, even if it takes 32 years for the world to finally pay you for it. If this story gave you chills, drop your thoughts below. And if you want more stories about artists who fought the industry and won, hit subscribe.